right, bro. So you gotta tell me, bro. Like, what is your deal? Why do you hate 2SKO so much? It looks pretty alright. It looks graphically alright. What's the problem?
The funny thing is like my problem isn't this. Well, I'm gonna get to a couple of things while there's a couple of problems, but number one being there's 10 buttons. It's insane. But like that's not even the thing, right? My biggest gripe, my biggest problem with a lot of you, right? Especially you, right? Y'all hyping up all these new mechanics. Y'all hyping up all these new features that they're adding and all that jazz. Meanwhile, this game literally is just a carbon copy of BBTAG. Like real talk. And I had to hear for God knows how long, literal years, talk about how that game is dog shit. That game is ass. But here comes the new kid on the block. Oh, Riot Games feeds you some slop and then y'all just eat it all up. That's all y'all needed, right? All y'all needed to see was Echo from Arcane, right? And that's coming from me. I love Echo. I played him long before Arcane came out. But all y'all need was some Arcane action, and then y'all ate it up like dog food, didn't y'all? Yeah, this is the problem with y'all.
Oh my gosh. So as everyone, well, actually no, because my audience is different. But basically, BBTAG Crosstag has always received criticism over the years. But I would agree with my boy over here that it's a lot of it can be really unwarranted. A lot of it kind of deserves like context to know why people have like such a bad thing about this game. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the things about like, first we're going to talk about the things that make Crosstag a little weird to talk about. But then after that, we could probably talk about like some of the good things. And who knows, maybe the good things are going to be sandwiched in between, a lot of the things that we're going to talk about anyway. So who knows? But basically, we're just going to go point to point. We're going to explain why Crosstag is probably peak. Like if we're being honest, unlike Pokemon X and Y, that shit is not peak. That shit is ass. You can give that shit because you could give Pokemon X and Y 10 more. You can get Pokemon X and Y 10 more years. It will not change how that game is fucking trash.
He's already dead. Why did you empty another clip? What is your problem?
Because I told you this before. Literally 10 years ago, I said, in 5 years, if there are a younger few audience that tell me that X and Y is peak, I'm going to cry. And then guess what? As soon as X and Y Legends or whatever the fuck that new game comes out, here they go in the woodworks. X and Y was always good, guys. I'm gonna fuck your mom. I'm going to take her lips.
But
they
why
are
did
mine
catch
now.
A stray? Why?
Because Crosstag doesn't need 3 years in order for me to say it's good. Pokemon X and Y is gonna need my dying breath in order to say that shit is good. There's no way.
All right. Fucking your hate boner for Pokemon X and Y aside, because that's not even the person. That's not even who we have on trial today. Not even this week. Like. You got a sniper just up there at all times, waiting for a Pokemon fan.
Imagine we're just like in a courtroom. Like I'd have a sniper right there. He's aiming. It doesn't hit anywhere into the courtroom, and it goes to another state. Like that's what I just did.
Caught a stray for what? Caught a stray for what? You know what that is? That is a good topic of conversation, true. Because you know what does catch a lot of strays for absolutely no reason. For some odd reason, my favorite fighting game, which is BBTAG Crosstag Battle. Because for some odd conspicuous reason, every time a 2v2 game comes out, or even a 3v3 game on top of that, because we haven't had really too many team fighters as a whole that have come out in the 6-7 years
until literally nowadays.
Until literally now, because but aside from that, like I'm pretty sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, pretty sure the last team fighter that we got was the Pokemon. Well, not Pokemon. I said Pokemon. God damn it. But the Power Rangers fighting game. I think that was the last team fighter that we really got. Because
research on it and probably put a clip in if we're wrong, but I'm pretty sure
I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure at that point Dragon Ball was already out at that time. I think the last real like team fighter game we really got was Power Rangers, and nobody played that game either. And that game is fine.
We can't even say Marvel Infinite because I think Dragon Ball was after that. So yeah, we're right.
Yeah, I think the last game was the last Team Fighter was Power Rangers. Because I think it was Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball came out, then BBTAG came out, then Infinite came out that same year, I think, or the year prior. And then the last one was probably Power Rangers.
I know this has nothing to do with the topic, but I genuinely, especially if Marcus actually wants to get it, I really want to play Invincible Versus. I feel like this is a dirty game made by pigs, and I need slop.
Like, yeah, for the Invincible fighting game, like, if we really about to turn our brains off and go real unga bunga with that game, I'm down with the sickness for real.
Listen, all I know is MK is dead. Finally.
Finally.
I don't have to give a shit now that my boy Conquest is gonna be in the game later.
Finally, we stop beating this dead fucking horse. God damn it! Oh my god!
I hope you know the last time that you came in here, I think the first shitty thing that we talked about was how you hated MK's fucking ballot system. So the fact that it came back to this is crazy.
And to make it even more funny, I'm pretty sure we made that video before MK1 was out.
Yes.
Either that or it might have just came out. Yeah, because we made it during the summer. Yeah, and so Mortal Kombat came out.
I think it just came out. Yeah,
it just came out.
Because you were playing Johnny. Yes, you were.
Yes, I was playing. I was playing a lot of Johnny. Yeah, but that's not the point. And like, you know what? Too, a lot has happened between last year and this year. Funnily enough too, MK1 for some reason also does get a little bit of a comparison to BBTAG because it's like, it's supposed to be a 2v2, but it's really just one guy and one assist.
A 1v1 with assists.
Yeah, a 1v1 plus I brought my buddy with me, you know what I mean? Like, and
I brought a friend.
I brought a friend, you know? And I ain't gonna lie, in terms of balance, when it came to like early BBTAG, in terms of balance, that definitely, some of these characters definitely felt like that. So I will admit to that. I will admit to that.
So, I guess we should just go into the topic, you think? So, like,
let's go.
This is an all-encompassing thing, but what we have to remember for the first one is that the game that we have now is the latest part of the game.
That is true.
That is very important because some people played this, you know, for the first 3 months, Isaac, which you'll talk about even when you first played it, you still liked it. But we have to realize that a lot of the things that were added or were changed in the game weren't that way beforehand. So it's like, Yang and Blake, I believe it was Yang and Blake. I believe what you said to me is that they were DLC, but they were free after a certain time, or maybe they were free afterward and you just had to wait to get them. So like that was a thing that definitely got on people's nerves. Some new systems didn't come in, like, you know, cross raid and extra assault or stuff like that. So
we'll definitely get into those new mechanics and the nitty gritty of it too. And I will say, even with those mechanics, I don't want to say they're band-aid fixes, but they definitely were new mechanics to not only freshen up the game, but to also address some of the degenerate things that were a problem in BBTAG 1.0, which is one thing that you wanted to talk about, which was the next topic would be like the meta of like early BBTAG.
So yes, that's very important because it took 7 months for the game to be patched to nerf Godot and they didn't nerf Ruby a lot, but they nerfed it enough, I believe. I don't know specifically, but basically for 7 months it wasn't patched, and the reason why it was not patched is because they had an arcade version and they wanted both to be kind of sequential. So that's kind of why it took so long, because both had to be on the same time, which is very weird. I think it's a Japan thing where it's like, you know, arcades are like usually big there compared to here, but I think that's the biggest reason. So it's like I understand why people were probably pretty angry at BBTAG because they probably had to deal with 7 months of Gordo and Ruby.
Okay, see, here's my thing though, right? I'm glad we're got on the topic of this. Just one little thing about the whole Yang and Blake thing. I do understand where the frustrations were coming from, because the main frustration was that these characters we knew were DLC. However, they were in the story mode. They were they were characters. They had interactions with the crossovers, so we knew they were in the game. They just weren't giving it to us. And you did bring up a thing that was like, I personally don't remember having to buy Blake and Yang, because that probably was because I pre-ordered the game and I pre-ordered the freaking the deluxe edition and everything. I was ready, set in stone for that fucking game, because the idea of being able to play a new BlazBlue game, but also be able to play my my favorite Persona characters in a new fighting game in a new system was refreshing to me, you know. So that was the thing that drew me in. I will, however, preface. Day one was pretty damn bad.
Day one DLC will never get a W to me. Day one DLC will never get a dub, no matter the game.
And like I was reiterating before, I don't know if the characters were always free, but I do remember at one point or another, Yang, like basically all of the Ruby characters were free. And they were the first DLC pack. So the first one that we got were Ruby was always in the base game, but Blake and Yang came out like a few weeks after the game was released, and I don't remember
Weiss was included? I thought it was Blake and Yang. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
It was okay. So it was Blake and Yang. They were first,
and then Weiss and Blake. Okay.
And then Weiss came out with somebody else, but that was also free. I think it was a BlazBlue character.
I'm gonna include a clip just in case we're wrong, but I'm pretty sure he said that they were going to be buyable, and then because of bitching, they turned into free. But I don't know. I'll include the clip. If it's not here, then I'm a dumbass. But maybe.
And I can't vouch for that, because I spent 80 buckaroos. I was gonna get my characters whether who the fuck cares. I wanted to play Naoto Shirogane in a fighting game. I was going to play Naoto Shirogane in a fighting game, and no one was gonna tell me otherwise. That was the thing for me.
Yeah, I guess the thing is, so it's like, I understand that 7 months for a patch is still crazy. However, I have heard that you can defend it. So what would you say to that?
Like, my thing is like, okay, 7 months. We waited for a patch for 7 months. I understand. I sympathize. I can make peace with that. I can live with that. I can make peace with that. Sometimes if something is really unbearable, then like, it's really hard to justify it and to want to keep playing it. However, I don't even think the characters themselves were necessarily insane. However, they were really good at abusing a lot of the mechanics in the day one, in BBTAG 1.0. One of them being active switch. So, how do I explain this?
Didn't they change that? They
changed a couple of things about active switch, right? So for starters, the way how active switch works, and I guess if you watch the current a lot of the stuff about 2xKO right now, you probably already know a little bit about how active switch functions. But the way how active switch functioned in BBTAG is that you could hold the partner button even if you call an assist. You would automatically switch characters as soon as you were able to. And yes, that was like fully invincible for some reason. So, Gordo having full screen Death Scythe and it being fully invincible, and then you have Ruby hauling ass at you. Yeah, that's a little annoying. I understand. I get it. But like I said, I feel like that was a mechanic issue that we needed to address, not like a Gordo and Ruby issue. Another good thing that the active switch that they used to abuse a lot is Gordo has a command grab in the game. He always had it in Uni, and the way how it works in Uni is that it'll take away some grid. It doesn't do that much damage. Sometimes you can't really combo into it, although later on they did allow him to combo into it. But the main use of this combo was in a game where meter was very prevalent and I guess pretty easy to come by, but some characters had a harder time than others. Gordo's command grab would steal meter from the opponent, and it was a true command grab, and you could active switch command grab, meaning it was a fully invincible command grab, and even if you jumped it, Ruby's still gonna chase after you and try to meet you air to air.
So does that mean that you could like do a string and then Gordo can like unblockable just get you?
So that's not how the unblockables work. Although I know that's another topic that you want to talk about. Is like but yes, Gordo did have an unblockable, but the way how unblockables work, don't make them as free flowing as like that. However, it's just like an ambiguous mix up where it's like if you let's say you're playing Gordo and you could do string. You can do your string into call and assist. And then from there, now the opponent has to guess, is he going to call his assist to cover his left-right mix-up? Or he can go high-low, he can dash over, like he can, to cover his options? Or is he going to command grab? Now, he can't command grab and just sit there. So he has to make the command grab safe. The switch, is he going to Death Scythe active switch? Because now what if I jump and then I get hit with Death Scythe? Now I'm going to take 10k off of Ruby, right? So I get that. Like, that team really was oppressive. But I don't even think it was entirely Gordo's fault. I think 80% of it was Ruby's fault. And then after they nerfed it the second time, it was like, all right, cool, we're okay now. At that point, once you added 2.0 and then you added cross raid, which by the way, cross raid was kind of already in the game already, but it was called cross combo, and that was broken because cross combo. Okay, to explain how cross combo worked, I have to explain how resonance works in this game. Resonance is kind of like sparking, and it's kind of like our version of sparking, like how it is in Dragon Ball or X Factor in Marvel. However, it's definitely a lot more watered down. Resonance basically allows you to cancel any special moves into supers, basically cancel anything into a super. It gives you more meter, so you go from your max.
More meter. I was thinking that.
Yeah, it gives you more meters, so you go from 5 meters to up to 9, depending on how many times you use your assist throughout the game. So you can get to at up maximum up to 9 meters, and it gradually heals your health bar. Unlike other games, whereas X Factor, where you get a damage buff and you also get a speed buff, and also you get more meter, and also you're just unstoppable, and also you get new mix-ups, and also like, you know, like so in the grand scheme of things, resonance isn't like in terms of a comeback mechanic, resonance isn't that insane. However, when we had cross combo,
I would kind of add that it's honestly kind of hype.
Yeah, it's actually kind of like in the grand scheme of things, it does lead to a lot of hype moments because like some characters can't cancel, don't have like conventional ways to cancel into their supers, and if they do, they have to like circumvent damage, or they have to give it the mix up. But it's like when you're in resonance, it feels like you unlock the true potential of your character within reason, of course. Where it's like you get to use EX moves a little bit more, spam a little bit more, and then once again you can kind of meter dump. However, the reason why cross combo was so oppressive was because when you activated cross combo, and to kind of preface this too, right? Cross combo is when you call your assist and then you press the cross burst input. That way, both of your team members can be on the screen at the same time, right? That's where the unblockables and stuff like that come from. And I'll explain more how unblockables work in BBTAG a little bit later when we get to that topic. Yeah. But just to talk about cross combo, right? Cross combo, when you activated cross combo, you gained all the benefits of resonance, except not getting extra meter. So you gain, I don't remember if it did heal you during cross combo. I don't think it did. But the main big thing about cross combo was it was longer. It was longer. So your teammate would stay on the screen longer than it does now. That was a really big problem. Another big problem is that if you ever see on the bottom of the gauge right next to the meter, you would see like the 2 bars, right? That shows you how many times you can call your assist before it needs to recharge, right? Before 2.0, let me say it this way. The way how it works in 2.0 is if you call an assist, you use 1 bar. You use 1 bar gauge. And if you activate cross combo, it would start from the halfway point. For some odd reason, in 1.0, if you cross combo, it would refresh your assist gauge, not only making it longer, but you can also call more assists, and you can also ring in your mix-up. Also, by the way, you get that little benefit of canceling special moves into supers. So now you have like these really big damaging combos because now you have your assist with you and you could loop your assist and then loop a special move on top of that, and you get to cash out to a super, and you get the extra damage from the resonance super on top of that. Some people would just pop and just straight up blow up. I totally get that. Yeah, so I get that sentiment.
I understand that. I was also going more so that, like, I believe one of your arguments before is that one game in particular did this anyway and nobody cared, but when BlazBlue did it, it was defiled.
Yeah.
So,
okay. So
what was that?
Okay, we kind of talked about it in the intro of this video, but like that's kind of what my problem is with 2XKO, because people obviously people didn't know what the mechanics were in BBTAG when they would see it, but a lot of people would just see, they're like, oh damn, I see Gordeau just spinning his scythe around, and then Ruby doing jab scythe, jab scythe, and that you just take that forever, right? And like people didn't know that is the mechanic within BlazBlue. So they immediately saw the horrors of that, and were like, that looks disgusting, that looks terrible, that looks like bad game design. But when 2XKO does it, now all of a sudden it's fine. Did you see the Alawi unblockables that I saw during the alpha for 2XKO? People were eating that shit up. Darius had a like, well, not Darius. Echo had a straight up like a straight up 50-50 solo 50-50 by himself, which both hits led to a TOD. But people complain about how this game has too much stuff going on the screen.
I think you also said that Dragon Ball FighterZ had to deal with a character for like a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah, and I kind of alluded. I didn't bring that up either, but it's like, okay, cool. If we're gonna complain about one team during the meta, which by the way, I don't remember what exactly the patch was that where they like straight up gutted the character, but like we got a bunch of characters literally the very next month. So we ended up getting Yang, we ended up getting Jubei, Hakumen, Aegis, Naoto, Carmine, Batista. At least 3 of those characters are meta defining. I'm pretty sure we could have figured out a way to counteract this one team, especially in a game that had 20 characters in it. That's another thing too. Like, and I'm sorry to beat the dead horse here, but like we're okay with 2XKO only having 4 characters or only having like 10 characters for a 2v2 game. This game came out with 20 characters.
It was about like 23, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, 23. We had 23 characters as a base because we ended up getting because we got Yang, we got Blake, and we got Weiss for free, like literally like within 2 weeks, and then literally 3 weeks later, we get Yang, Jubei, Hakumen, Aegis, Carmine, and Batista. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new characters, and 3 of them are meta defining. Like, I'm sorry, like I get it. Nobody wants to wait 7 months, but Dragon Ball FighterZ also waited like a year and a half. And I watched Yipes into Kill Stage get on a stream, and it's like, bro, just learn the fucking game, bro. At that point, just like you're complaining about 7 months. Dragon Ball FighterZ had to deal with GT Goku for a year and a half. Like, at that point, let's just learn the fucking game, bro. Like, either don't play the game and just play another game, or learn the matchup at that point.
Well, it's weird because it's like that 7 months wasn't supposed to happen and only really happened because of the arcade version. So like they knew this was a problem. So like I don't want to say learn the matchup when the developers know this is a problem and they know they're gonna change it. You know, like if the developers straight up was just like nah, you're trash. It's like, all right, I guess I gotta learn then. But like if they know, then it's like, all right, what are we doing here?
Okay, but here's my other problem with this too, right? I want to look at the patches because I don't know when. I don't exactly remember. You said 7 months, right?
I believe it's 7 months. Yes.
So, okay, because I'm looking at the patch list right now, right? And I'm looking at the one specifically for the arcade. Within that 5 months, we got so many meta-defining characters. I don't think anybody was still complaining about Gordeau and Ruby after month 4. Because you know who came out after month 4?
What happened?
Mitsuru! And all her Persona 4 bullshit. Her five frame jab that just beats everything. I don't think people were complaining about Gordora and Ruby when Mitsuru came out. I'm gonna be honest. And then Yuzu came out. I don't think people were complaining about those two characters anymore. Like at that point, so the fact that we're complaining about how like the first top tier team was still top tier after 7 months, brother. Like bro, like how can we complain about a top tier, like a day one top tier team when there were 5 other top tier teams that came out right after? Which, by the way, those two, also on top of that, Mitsuru and Yuzu, they got dealt with pretty quickly as well. Like I think that like there were instances where Arc System Works definitely went ghost, which is the last time they did because they did promise us 100 characters before they went AWOL. But whatever, I guess. And they also promised us one. They also promised us one more balance patch. That was like 4 years ago. But like that's fine, whatever. But like my thing is though is like we had a couple of patches and then they dropped the base characters and then for a while they did go radio silent. And then that I feel like that was the time frame where it was like really bad because I feel like that's when the unblockables started to become prevalent because Yang Carmine was the undisputed best team as soon as they dropped. And that is the example I think you were telling me about earlier about easy unblockables.
Yeah.
That is the team I think people are talking about. I know they're talking about. Oh my god, I know they're talking about it.
You can hear the Twitter people already.
I actually, yeah. So what you were telling me about, what did you hear about the unblockables, right?
We'll get to that later. But basically, for this point, people were dealing with 7 months of hell, but you could justify it basically. So like
I could not only could I justify it, but
it seems unfair.
Yeah, it seems a little unfair because you make it seem like we were playing the exact same game for 7 months straight, which just wasn't the case. There were multiple characters that were meta-defining that came out the woodwork, and there was more character variety. There was more teammate variety, and you know what I mean? Like people were diving into a lot of new ideas and theory crafting new teams and stuff like that. That's how we got another really good oppressive teams. So to sit here like the way how it's described and people make it seem like it was Dragon Ball where like for a year and a half I had to deal with this. But it's like no, the game changed. The game wasn't like directly patched, yes, but new characters coming into the forefront shakes up the meta. These are new assists to be able to utilize, new anti-air assists, new neutral assists that can allow you to play neutral just a little bit better.
Yes.
And depending on the character, you played neutral very much better. Oh my god.
One thing that was also not in the latest patch at all was online bad. I think this can be very understandable, especially since, rollback didn't come until like what, a year, maybe 2 years ago. So
2 years ago, yeah,
I'm gonna put my hands up for that one. Personally, because like I understand, bad online is just bad online. Like you could complain about that. That's fine with me.
But my thing is though about that is it was like if we're gonna do that, treat them all the same. That's my issue when it comes to that. Do you know how many other games had bad online around that time?
Okay. So this is actually a very not weird, but like this is interesting because I think it's very weird to talk about because when you bring up things like Dragon Ball FighterZ, one of the main reasons of why, because it's not really ignored. Online isn't ignored. Everyone talks about it. Like literally, it's been a meme that this shit was fucking stupid as shit online. Like it's known for a fact. I think the reason why is because the presentation is so good, the animations were so good, and everything was just so good except single player. But that's most fighting games. Yo, pick yourself up, do better fighting games. Get a better single player. Like what are y'all doing?
We can't do all that. And then when somebody tries to fit to like go against the grain, like Mortal Kombat, then we shit on it. Like we can't. Like you know what I mean? Like. I didn't hate Mortal Kombat 1 story mode, but like I know a lot of people didn't really vibe with it.
Well, my problem. Well, okay, so like my problem, like listen, I know it's a little tangent, but it's okay. Me personally, even if the story is good in its peak, right? I don't like movies in my video games. Okay, I don't want my video games to be movies. I want my video games to be games. So I don't like sitting there for 2.5 hours watching the story unfold when I could just go on YouTube to do that. That's why I don't personally. So like even when Tekken does it, I don't fucking like it. So it's like it's not just an MK problem. So me personally, let your game be a game. Personally, I'm just saying. That's just me.
Okay, but back to like I guess back to the topic at hand. About
Online
the
bad.
online.
Online
Online is
bad,
bad.
but Dragon Ball Fighters can somehow quote unquote get away with it.
But that's my thing though, right? I use Dragon Ball as an example because not only did it come out that same year, but also, it was in the same ballpark. What I do realize is too is like it's definitely a bias, like
It's very weird.
it's very
It's very weird because the next 2 points, like 2 points after, we're gonna talk about like the sprites being the same even after 9 years in comparison to Dragon Ball Fighters, where it's like literally new animations and it looks cool at the same time with a big budget. So like it's more understandable if I view it that way.
okay. Yeah. So and then we'll definitely talk about the reason why that is the case when we get to those topics. But like
Yeah.
when it comes to like online, right? My only argument with that is just like if we're gonna
We should have smoke for everyone.
we really should do have smoke for everyone because look how loved Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is loved, right? Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is so beloved by the community and by the people that play it. I love it too. I love watching Marvel vs. Capcom 3, especially Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But like, we're not gonna sit here and pretend like that online is good. You like people forget the reason why GTPO PO and by extension Parsec was such pushed heavily was because two reasons. One, because we were in a pandemic, so we couldn't do tournaments, we couldn't do physical tournaments anymore. And two, most importantly, people agreed, hey, our favorite games have dog shit online. What are we gonna do about it? People revolutionized.
And we did
online.
not do a lot about it until recently.
But that's the thing though too. People did do a lot about it. A lot of GGPO has been out for years, right?
That's true.
And this was the thing that we were talking about with the Mortal Kombat, with the last video with fighting games of Crybabies. Is like, if your community wants it, they'll do it, right? If your community has dog shit online, they'll figure out a way to make it better. Melty Blood has done it for God knows how long. Like, come on, guys. Like, Melty Blood has been doing it for years. What's another example?
Unless Nintendo is your company, but yes.
Oh yeah, unless Nintendo is your company. Smash Ultimate, that was another example. They did it. They added a training mod to their thing, and like how much dedication that goes into all the love and hardship because they love the game that they love and they just want to play it online. The whole reason why Parsec came to fruition, especially so quickly too, is like people wanted to play Marvel. But the online was terrible. People wanted to play Dragon Ball, but the online was terrible. People really wanted to play Street Fighter 5, but the online was terrible. Every game during that time frame had terrible online. And yet, for some odd reason, BBTAG is the only one that still gets shitted on for it. That literally doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't understand.
Or at least it was shitted on more back then compared to now because it has rollback. So
exactly, yeah, right. And this is the other thing I preference too is like, I don't agree with the new sentiments of this day and age of people saying that like, damn, my team fighter isn't gonna play the way I want it to. The Marvel fighting game isn't Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Damn, team fighters are dead. And it's like, no, they are not.
Yeah, bro. I said it to you, and you even were like, "What?" And I was like, "Nah, bro. This is Strive 2 with 4 characters on the screen."
And what did I tell you? I don't care because I play other games. You're not gonna convince me that team fighters are dead.
I'm just saying people can't be surprised. It's Strive 2 with 4 to 8 characters on screen. I'm just saying.
I will give the game a chance, the benefit of the doubt when it does come out, and I will try it out for what it is because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna just shoot down a game automatically just because it's not exactly the thing that I want. And even if the game isn't all that I desire, bro, I will go back to playing BBTAG. This is how the conversation came about. Anyways, like people are saying, they're like, oh damn, team fighters are already dead. Fucking Hunter x Hunter only has 10 characters. Fucking the Marvel fighting game isn't Marvel vs. Capcom. Oh no. Freaking 2XKO is getting delayed again. Oh no. How about we go play the Power Rangers fighting game that's actually not that bad and is actually pretty dope and pretty cool. And has rollback netcode now, so you don't have a reason to bitch or complain about that. Or we could play BB Tag.
Nah,
if
bro.
you want to play a 2v2 game.
Nah, bro. That's a Discord fighter, bro. Get it away from me.
Yeah, I'm sure that most of our games are if your name isn't Tekken,
that's just a bathroom game, bro. Go away.
Bro, that shit pisses me the fuck off because let's be honest here. If your name isn't Tekken or Street Fighter, you're damn sure probably a Discord fighter game. Or King of Fighters. King of Fighters is the new Fatal Fury game. They have a couple people online, but even then, I've heard people that like there's only like the numbers have been dropping lately as well. Like apparently only like 200 people are only playing every day nowadays. So it's like every game that isn't Street Fighter or Tekken is a Discord fighter. Let's really talk about it here. Like come on guys, like
bro,
can you get on PC on Dragon Ball Fighters and find a match and find a lobby? Can you? I couldn't.
Not unless you're a Lythero, but yes.
Like maybe on PlayStation, maybe because people still play multiplayer on PlayStation, which is like super dope. But then even then, if that's the case, that just defeats the point. It's like,
bro,
I just realized, but I can get on PlayStation and I can get on.
Bro, I just realized this is not this is not Blaze Brew cross tag is peak. This is fighting game players are crybabies too.
It really is. It genuinely is. Like y'all are ugly. Y'all are ugly in the soul and y'all ugly in the mind. Like y'all are down. Like we were shitting on this game. I mean, and granted, I've also said too. There's also other points that we're gonna get to in a moment.
Yes.
That are completely 1000% valid, and I will explain them.
The next point probably isn't, but most of them will be. Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like some of them, they are understandable in the grand scheme of things. You know, I get it, but like. Let's please, like, why do we sit here and pretend like these other games don't have this problem? That's the part I don't understand. We're complaining about bad online, but in 2017 and 2018, every game had bad online. Like, come on, guys. The only company that was willing to even try rollback netcode during that time was Street Fighter and Capcom, and they decided to do their own version, and it was worse. Like, come on, guys. Every game we played during that time frame had bad online, but we didn't care.
Bro, it played like Mortal Kombat because everyone kept teleporting.
Yes, yes. Another prime example. I love MKX to death. You know when MKX got that really big update where they fixed the netcode, like a little bit before 2018. So like when the game was borderline about to die. You know,
they're like, we'll give it to you.
Like, we'll give you online. Like, every game had bad online around that time. Between 2013 and 2017, good fucking luck. The servers are held together by duct tape and hopes and dreams, and not the one from Deltarune. Like, come on now. Like,
there's no determination here,
there's none whatsoever. These niggas were lazy. We had to do the work. That's why Parsec became a thing. That's why
Undyne dead, Muffet dead, Sans dead, nothing.
Like, you know what I mean? Like every game had terrible online at that time, bro. But it was about at the end of the day, it was about the community and about the people who wanted to play the games that they wanted to play, and they loved playing it, and they weren't gonna allow bad online to stop them. You know what I mean? So they either sucked it up and played online, or we pushed, like, accelerated. You know, people accelerated the growth of Parsec, accelerated the growth of GGPO, making those mods, making these like community edition like mod packs and stuff like that to be able to make the online more playable. And even to this day, I play BBTAG on Parsec, and it still plays great. Like it's obviously it's not oh my god amazing playing on PC, no input lag at all, buttery smooth. It's gonna feel weird, right? But like. You know, like the game is way more playable than it was before, and yet, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ still has this, but
we'll talk about it later. But like, they added a lot of new cool stuff, so it's a definitely better game than that was way back.
Mm-hmm. But I even think like even 1.0, like Matt, look what I just explained about earlier. Like my final point before we go to the next topic though. But I want to preface this too, right? Like, quote, between May 31st of 2018 when the game was officially released to everybody, between that and the official big balance patch, which was in February of 2019. Between those two patches, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 characters. 16 characters by the end of the summer. What if the game does that? Like, you know what I mean? Like 16 characters by the end of the summertime. Even if the game wasn't getting balance patches, there was still a lot of BBTAG to be played. There's 16 brand new characters, guys. Like, come on, get in the fucking lab. It's only been a summer. Did you even get in the lab? What the fuck are you doing?
Get in the lab. See, when you say that, I'm thinking about that Dexter meme where it's like, oh, back to the lab.
That's the lab again. That's exactly what I did when Naruto came out. I got my ass straight in that bitch. The fuck, like 16 brand new characters. You telling me we couldn't find any counterplay? We couldn't figure out anything in that span of 7 months that we were waiting? When 16 brand new characters dropped? I don't know, man.
No!
Just complain. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay. So when it comes to the past, I guess there is a lot of reconciliation. I think what a lot of people have to understand is just the fact that this game is not the same as it was when it first started. It's very different. A lot of the problems that were probably in the game now are more than likely gone, especially with the bigger inflated roster. So I guess with that, the past doesn't really matter. I just wanted, a frame of reference so that people who played it back then were like, well, I remember this. Well, it's like, well, it's gone now. And also a lot of things.
One, it's gone, and two, your favorite fighting game probably also had those same problems too. So why are we the ones getting bashed for it? That's my argument in this first half of this debate. Like, your favorite fighting game had these exact same problems, and you still let it rot. UMVC 3 still doesn't have rollback netcode, but that is the holy grail of team fighters. Like, come on, guys. Like, come on. Just say you don't like the game. If you don't like the game, cool. Don't talk about it. Let me enjoy it.
That's how I feel about Invincible Versus. Not that anyone hates it, but like I just feel like I'm gonna really like that game, so I'm gonna try it no matter what.
Yeah.
Because I know you and Maurice, we'll block his name, I guess. But you and Maurice, were talking about like, I pray to God that this is not MK, bro. And then we were like, thank God it's Killer Instinct.
And I mean, like, yeah, and it's like that's so great. Like, obviously, we'll make those memes and stuff like that too. But like I said before, if this isn't my niche, I'm gonna go back to playing BBTAG. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna try out 2XKO when it comes out because it is free, and on top of that, it is made from by Righted Games. I do love these characters.
You are the meme of there's 2 cakes. That's
like,
just you.
I'm still gonna make fun of you for eating that cake, but you can also make fun of me for eating this cake too. That's fine. I like shitty things. Like, I came to terms with that fact of myself a long fucking time ago. I like bad games. I like shitty things. If it tickles that little dopamine in my the back of my brain, cool. I'm gonna play for hours.
Everyone can suck my dick.
And respectfully, everyone can suck my dick. Anyway,
the next topic
was not that bad. I promise. It really wasn't that bad. I really wish that like we just could have think out the meta a little bit more, and I feel like that would have turned out that way if more and more people were playing. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. Whatever. Anyways,
I will definitely humbly agree with that. Now the next one is very important. I'm gonna pee for a minute. I'm gonna let you gather your thoughts for 2 minutes. But streamline characters versus party game. I'm going to go pee for literally a minute. I'm gonna let you gather your thoughts, and then we'll come back to this topic. So I'm gonna let you stew on that. Give me 1 sec.
Party game? Yeah. We play Marvin's Cat Pal 3 for money, bro. What are we talking about? I hate this shit. Yeah. He probably can hear this shit out in the echo, but I don't care. I don't care. Bro, we talking about party games. Injustice was actually a game that we played for money, bro. There's no way.
What
There's
happened?
no way.
Are you talking about the topic?
Yeah, no, I've been talking shit this whole time. If you want to cut this out, that's mad.
Bro, I gotta edit it, so that's just a little good piece of juiciness for me later.
That shit is mad for
me. I hope you know that I already know this video is gonna be a banger. So
the confidence, I love it.
So the argument for
I just know you posted in the fucking general.
You just saw it.
You bitch ass motherfuckers!
You just saw that. The audience has probably been seeing it in the corner, but this is what he saw. So I made that in 2 minutes.
Hey, if somebody wants to, I don't know. It doesn't matter if you don't want to, D'Angelo. But if you want, put that one fucking meme of the dude that plays Barry Allen from the CW Flash when he's standing next to the coffin. But on the tombstone, just put fucking Darius's face on it. Like, I need that. I need that. The streets need that. Rest in peace. You won't be missed, motherfucker.
Oh my gosh. The tombstone me. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The fucking tombstone me when he's doing the peace sign with the tombstone.
Yeah. Okay, I got you after this.
Pack watch, motherfuckers.
Okay, so the argument goes is that this game is streamlined and it also acts as a party game. So the argumentation for this is that I can understand the streamlined because if you compare it to a lot of other BlazBlue games, especially when you compare it to Central Fiction, a lot of not only mechanics, but a lot of character designs and traits and things like that clearly are not in this game. So I can understand what people mean by that, by the base game being streamlined. The second part to it would be party game. I think essentially the reason why people would say party game in that sense is because of easy mechanics or easy sort of things, such as like auto combos being the game, making it very quote-unquote babyfied. Of course, I don't agree, and you'll definitely give us an earful. But for you, at least at the part of streamlined characters, what would you say to that?
Okay. I love the fact that you use those two topics in particular, right? Because, D'Angelo, have you ever played Central Fiction?
Yes. I played this one. Yeah.
I know you played. Have you ever looked at some of these characters' traits?
Looked? Nah. I'm gonna be honest. I need a video for that.
Hey yo, not even. I mean, maybe one day when you come over, I'm gonna come over. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna look at Dust Loop, and we're gonna look at every single character trait in BlazBlue Central Fiction. But I'm gonna reiterate this right now. If you think this game is a party game right now, imagine if these characters had character traits. Imagine if 9 the Phantom had all of her spell gauges from CF.
So
on top of assists.
So I forgot what their names is, but 2 examples that I saw was the witch woman and the boxer guy from Persona. What are their names?
Okay, so you're talking about 9 the Phantom, which is the one I'm talking about. The one that I'm talking about right now, and I'm assuming you're talking about Akihiko from Persona 4.
Yes, the
Persona
one with the red overall thing. Yeah, that.
Okay, yeah, right. So though I love the fact that those are 2 examples that you brought up, because those are 2 examples of why that argument is so redundant, right? So let's go to 9 the Phantom first. If I'm gonna pull up 9 the Phantom Central Fiction drive gauge, and I want to explain to you every single thing that it does. 9 the Phantom. Hold on one second.
Oh, trust me, I know what they do, bro. You basically, if you get, I believe it's a certain special that you use. If you do it 3 times in particular in a certain amount, you'll get a certain enhanced special that you get.
Yes.
So 3 fires, it's an ultimate fire. But you don't even have to do like wind by itself or fire by itself. You can actually
whatever you prioritize the most, like whichever one you prioritize the most. But yeah. Like, if her drive get like now I'll preface this too. It is definitely a lot more watered down in BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, but I'm telling you that is a good thing, because if you had to deal with some of the BlazBlue Central Fiction setups on top of having to deal with an assist, you would want to kill yourself. You would literally want to kill yourself.
You would end it all.
You would literally want to end it all. If 9 the Phantom had all of her drive moves the exact same way they are in Central Fiction, on top of having to deal with assists, you would literally want to kill yourself. So I don't understand why we're saying that. Izayoi, now granted, Izayoi has another example of like it's a little bit watered down. So instead of her being able to fully glide around the entire screen, 8-way dashes like we're fucking Magneto, She just gets to do a little glide that allows her to do a nice little safe jump. D'Angelo, you've played cross tag battle. Do you want to deal with Magneto 8-way dashes in this game?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Isaac. I don't want to deal with Susanoo with everything. So
another great example. Susanoo, because Susanoo doesn't have to unlock his moves, he's missing out on a lot of moves. He's missing out on his overhead. He's missing out on his really good 2M low. He's missing out on he's missing out on a safe DP. You know his DP is safe in CF and like is borderline safe in CF, right?
It is.
It's borderline. Actually, let me not talk on my ass. Please take this out. If I am talking on my ass, but I'm on Dustloop right now. I can look it up. But I want the one where he unlocks it. Which one is the one where he unlocks it? Let me just see. Special move. Oh no, yeah, I'm talking on my ass. It's minus 28, but it's also frame 20 info. What?
Also remember, he is a gorilla, so it doesn't matter if it's 28 frames because that pushback is going to be amazing. So
and the pushback is amazing and is also treated as a projectile. So I'm pretty sure some counters don't even beat it.
No.
So you can't counter it. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Do you really want to deal with Susanoo with a free overhead look? Because everyone has a overhead in this game, but it leads to the animation. Then it does like a little cross animation where you and your partner attack. They made that a lot better in BBTAG 2.0 to incentivize you wanting to use it. But that's a universal thing that everyone had. Imagine if Susanoo had a comboable overhead. That's what you get when you ask for Central Fiction Susanoo. So are we willing to do with that?
And I just kind of noticed it now. If we'll talk about it later, but if unblockables are easy now, that would be.
And fun fact, Susanoo is one of the few characters that can consistently do an unblockable. So back to what I was saying, if you really want Central Fiction characters in this game, you don't. You really don't.
You don't.
You don't. You really don't. Because you will not know pain, and Susanoo's not even one of the better characters in this game. You will not know pain until you get hit with an comboable overhead, and then he mixes you again, and then you get hit with the low, and then you take another 8K, and then one more against the game, unblockable. You will put the ball in your fucking mouth. Talk to me about, why did they streamline it? Why did they take all these mechanics? You don't want these mechanics in BBTAG. On top of having an assist. Same thing with Akihiko, right? Now, to preface this one, I did not play Persona 4 Arena Ultimax that much. Everything what I'm going by is based on what I've seen, and even then, not many people play this game a lot, so there's not really much to really talk about. But I do know for a fact that Akihiko's win gauge is nerfed compared to what it is in Persona 4 Arena. With that being said, I'm going to preface this really importantly, D'Angelo. Even with the nerfed mechanic, Akihiko can still TOD the entire cast.
Yes, he can.
So does it really fucking matter? Does it really matter? He can consistently TOD the entire cast by himself. He can just do that. Even with the nerf cyclone. With the nerf cyclone, he can still TOD the entire class. So what are we complaining about? He can still TOD everybody. And even when you have max cyclone, you can still go for unreactable 50-50s. You can still go for active switch, go into Akihiko, and then get behind the nigga. Like bro, like you can still do all the grimy shit that Akihiko is known for doing. It's just now you got a partner with you. So why are we complaining?
I don't know.
Like, do you want the TODs to be easier? Is that what you want? Because that's what's gonna happen if you give him Ultimax Cyclone.
Listen, man, I'm just the messenger, okay?
You want the neutral to be better? You want him to sidestep fucking projectiles? Is that what you want? Because that's what happens when you give him Ultimax Cyclone. I'm just letting you know that right now. You want him sidestepping the fucking projectiles and shit? Like, come on, son. Like, come on. Like, okay, I'm reading it right now. Unique mechanics. Akihiko's skills, SP skills, all out attacks, sweep, ground throw, and almost all of his persona attacks are all cyclone moves, and thus have unique properties. He can freely cancel any of these moves into one another, and by canceling one cyclone into another, you raise a cyclone meter by 1 level. Cyclone moves depend on the cyclone meter for certain attacks. For example, S Cyclone 0, double uppercut is a standard DP that blows the opponent back and allows them to air tech. However, further levels send the opponent straight up into the air instead of taking them into the ability to air tech. Certain moves allowing certain levels allow you to combo after it. So, if I'm not mistaken, the one thing that they took away from him going into BBTAG 2.0 is you can't cancel every special move into other special moves. I think you can only cancel the bob and weave, the Dempsey roll. You could cancel the Dempsey roll into other things, and then you could cancel. Yeah, I think that's really it. I think you could cancel the Dempsey roll into other things, and that's about it, right? So they did nerf that aspect. But why the fuck do I want that in my team fighter game? Because I swear to God, if this nigga does Cyclone Upper and then cancels it into jab straight and it calls an assist, I'm going to blow up this fucking town. What do you mean? You want that? You don't want that. You really don't want that in this game. You don't want that in this game because you're gonna actually think this game is a party game. When this nigga calls fucking Yumi assist, and then he does the Dempsey roll, jab straight, and then gets behind you before the fucking ice pillars come and hit you in from the front. Now you gotta guess left or right, all because this nigga is just coded from Persona 4 Arita. You gotta guess left or right, and by the way, this is a very time-sensitive subject. If you fail, you will die. I reiterated that earlier. If you fail, you die. This is a very time-sensitive QTE. You better guess right.
Did you block it?
I'm not even gonna ask you. Shake my hand, because you know you're gonna die. Shake my fucking hand. Like what? I know you didn't block it. Damn, I fucking Dempsey roll, jab straight, then went low, and then call an assist. Now you gotta guess if I'm gonna go left or right. All right, cool, brother. Tell me if you're gonna get hit. And if that's the case, if you say, oh yeah, I definitely got hit, then all right, cool. Why are we complaining then?
Eat it. Kiss my fucking ass and lick my balls. Eat it.